Assembly Bill 154 by Assemblymember Atkins, enacting the Healing Arts.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. AB 154 allows nurse practitioners, certified nurse midwives, and physician's assistants who have the proper training to perform aspiration abortions within the first trimester. Members, all women deserve access to care in their local communities, and while California has a long history of supporting access to comprehensive reproductive health care, including abortion, almost half of our state's counties, 52%, do not have an accessible abortion provider. Abortion is one of the safest outpatient medical procedures, and it is safest when performed early in pregnancy. Yet in California, women in many medically underserved areas who choose to terminate a pregnancy must delay care or even leave their communities, often driving long distances, to find a clinician who provides abortions. The growing shortage of abortion providers creates a significant barrier for women. Authorizing trained health professionals to provide early abortion services removes barriers and allows qualified clinicians to provide services in communities that need them. Advanced practice nurses and physician's assistants provide the majority of well women care in primary care settings and are key health access points, especially in rural areas. Allowing a larger group of healthcare professionals to offer early abortion care is one way to reduce healthcare disparity and increase continuity of care. While these highly qualified health professionals also provide medication abortions, AB 154 will allow them to provide another alternative to women throughout the first trimester. Results from a comprehensive 5-year pilot project conducted by the University of California at San Francisco showed that trained health professionals can safely provide early abortions and that women appreciated receiving care in their own communities. This should not be a surprise. The Health Workforce Pilot Project number 171, under a legal waiver by the Office of Statewide Health Planning and Development, was conducted over a 5-year period. 100 doctors with a mean of 14 years experience and 40 nurse practitioners, as well as certified nurse midwives, physician's assistants, performed 16,712 abortions between August 2007 and August 2011. Both groups resulted in a less than a 2% complication rate. As the nation moves towards healthcare reform, it's important that all health professionals fully utilize their skills and training to maximize care in a more responsible healthcare system. This new model provides comprehensive and better coordinated reproductive health care. Broadening the types of health professionals who can perform these services means women can rely on a wide spectrum of reproductive health care, family planning, birth control, miscarriage management, abortion, post-abortion follow-up from the same practitioner, allowing for the important continuity of care. By passing AB 154, California can continue to lead the nation in supporting access to comprehensive reproductive health for women in their own communities by providers they know and trust. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. Debate or discussion on this measure, beginning with Senator Nielsen.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I would urge caution, deep and profound thought and soul-searching before you vote on this bill. It is no light matter. Abortion is a serious medical procedure with vast complications. And I would argue only the best trained should conduct such an operation. Not a procedure. This is an operation. And it has direct and profound impact on life. The mother and the baby. And there is a baby in there. In the course of such operation, or any operation, there are complications. There can be serious complications. That's when the maximum training and expertise and access to the hospital privileges that doctors have that this class would not come to bear to save the lives of those individuals who were in surgery. It is a leveling down of health care for women without question, because the individuals here in point do not have the training, do not have the experience, do not have the hospital experience, and certainly do not have the experience in adverse situations as doctors do. It's a dangerous direction we're going. Not only here are we leveling down the competence of an individual who will be conducting a very serious operation on a woman, there's other legislation that will be removing clinics wherein this is conducted from the authority of OSHPD, which ensures the safety of all medical facilities in California. This bill seeks to circumvent the approval of OSHPD. So now you're taking it back into a facility that may well be not equipped to deal with these very adversities that I am suggesting the less trained person would be capable of dealing with. This is very dangerous. Do think seriously about your vote on this. Lives are at stake.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Senator Anderson.
There's just two things that come to thought with this. You know, the argument for abortion was we've got to get it out of the alleys, no more coat hangers, that we need safe abortions for the women, that no woman should lose her life over this. Look, I don't support abortion, but furthermore, I couldn't support this bill because I think it puts the women's lives at risk. And while we can talk about it and say this is great that we're giving substandard care in rural areas, I believe that rural women deserve the same level of health care as women that live in cities. So I'm therefore asking that you follow me and vote no. Thank you.
Senator Gaines.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President and members. I just want to clarify, there was discussion about improper access in rural communities. I represent 11 counties. Probably 3/4 of them are rural in nature, and there's not an issue in terms of access to doctors. And by moving forward this legislation and not having a doctor perform an abortion, which is a very serious procedure, should not be left to anybody but a doctor. There's not an issue of access for an abortion to be performed by a doctor anywhere in my rural district. And I am in opposition to this bill. I think it puts women at risk, and would urge my colleagues to vote against it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gaines. Senator Leno, followed by Senator Evans. Senator Leno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think it's an important fact to remember that access to reproductive rights and abortion services, though the law of the land constitutionally guaranteed, access is only available in 1/3 of California's counties. So in about 19 counties is there even access. So that's the foundation of the problem the bill addresses. We clearly can have a variety of opinions on a woman's right to choose, but if the debate here, as I've heard, is about the safety and health of women, I don't think we should overlook the fact that the following groups are in support of this bill: the California Family Health Council, the Board of Registered Nurses, the American Nurses Association, the American College of Nurse-Midwives, and the California Medical Association, all in support of the bill. I ask for your aye vote.
Senator Evans.
Thank you, Mr. President. While I appreciate the concern for women residing in rural counties, I must differ with some of the arguments that have been put forth on the floor here today. I represent 7 counties, 5 of which are rural. And women in those counties are entitled by the Constitution, by state law, by the United States Constitution, by the California State Constitution, and by simply virtue of the fact that they are human, they are entitled to the access to the health care that they need. Now, many women will require this procedure because their health is threatened, because they are threatened with potential death, actually, although there are other consequences that are less than that. But many women will require this procedure, and many women living in rural communities will not be able to access it. And that is what this bill does, is it provides greater access to women, particularly those that are living in rural communities, to obtain the health care that they are constitutionally entitled to. And I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Evans. Further debate or discussion on this measure? Further debate or discussion? Seeing none. Senator Jackson, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. Members, access is critical, and when an abortion is performed in the earliest stages, it is a significantly safe procedure. That's what this bill does. It offers it at its earliest stages through trained medical professionals who have been trained. Many of these nurses and nurses and others have already been doing these procedures in the or assisting physicians and have the experience and the understanding. This is not a complicated procedure in its earliest stages. We want to make sure that women can access it at the earliest possible stage. It becomes more and more problematic the longer it is delayed, and it is frequently delayed because women do not have access. They have to drive long distances. For whatever reasons, and I won't get into that because that's not what this bill is about, women have been losing access. This is a way to allow women to exercise their reproductive decisions, protect their health, and make sure that it is done in a medically sound way, which, as Senator Leno pointed out, why the California Medical Association is also in support, and I would ask for your aye vote as well.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Anderson? No. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Calderon? Aye. Canella? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? No. De Leon? Aye. DeSaulnier? Aye. Emerson? Evans? Aye. Fuller? No. Gaines? No. Galgiani? Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hill? Aye. Hueso? Huff? No. Jackson? Aye. Knight? No. Lada? Aye. Leno? Aye. Tedlew? Aye. Carol Liu? Aye. Monning? Aye. Nielsen? No. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Torres? Aye. Vidak? No. Walters? No. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Yee? Yee, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Emerson? Galgiani? Aye. Hueso? Wyland?
Ayes 25, noes 11. Measure